Hello everybody and welcome back to another ForgeCraft Modpack with me, TechnoJock. Well, it's been eventful. Since the last episode, there has been a bit of a development that I alluded to in the description of one of my previous videos quite some time ago. I've had a pretty catastrophic world crash, which meant that all of this, my entire world, this entire save, was destroyed, was irretrievable. I tried going in and with various ways, with MC Edit and a lot of different ways that people had been suggesting on forums and YouTube videos and things. The long and the short of it was, I couldn't get any of it back. It's completely broken, and what I've had to resort to doing is starting a whole new world and using my previous footage to attempt to recreate what I'd already done. So, as you can see, I've rebuilt the house largely as it was, with a smelter in the side and a little extension, and then there's the mage tower there and our little workshop area. I have gone ahead and largely completed the superstructure of the mage tower there. As you can see, looks quite cool. There's still a bit of glass to go in there just now, but I think you'll agree that looks pretty cool. The very loud tree farm is back, although slightly reworked. It's a little bit tidier, and all of the plots of trees are all growing properly. It's a little bit laid out a little bit nicer. We've got our Britannia area. I've done something slightly different there, and I've put in some cool looking lights here on posts, kind of like ornamental lights. And we've got the area that we were working on before for our power gen, largely as it was previously. So I've got these all done, and they've just come up to temperature. So they're all producing steam. So at the moment, we don't have any actual power gen. The tree farm there, I'll show you, is running on battery power. I've got a redstone energy cell, which is very rapidly heading towards being depleted. As you can see, I reworked this a little bit as well to be a bit more efficient in terms of the wiring here. So that all works kind of nicely. Quite happy with how that looks, although I think I need to put on a void upgrade to this just in case things get backed up with saplings rather than logs. That could be the only thing that might cause an issue there. Quite like the way that that blends in there as well. It looks pretty cool. Hello, Mr. Enderman. Did this slightly differently as well, and there's a light on the inside of that, so things aren't going to spawn in there even if it's empty, so we won't have blood going in like we had before, although I have since discovered the way that I had of getting blood out with Steve's Factory Manager would have worked had I changed the eye-sidedness to the correct side to pull out of, so that's fine. The layout here is a little bit different, and I did derp up slightly with the dimensions of this room. It's actually wider than it was before, but I've reworked it anyway. So it's largely as we would have had it previously. One of the things I've managed to go and do is this is still actually a slime chunk. So despite the fact I've started in a brand new world, I have managed to pick an area that is still a slime chunk, and I will still get slimes bouncing around outside my house, making a horrendous noise when I'm trying to speak to you guys. So that's really fun. When I arrived in this area and cleaned it out, there weren't any slimes at all, and they appeared to be following me. So that's nice. Around about here, we have quite a decent sized town. I actually haven't really been over here very much. So I haven't done anything. Oh, there's even some iron golems here. That's pretty cool. Like I say, I haven't really been over here. It's a fair distance away from spawn, let's see on the map here. Oh, it's not actually going to show. Oh, that's weird. In any case, it is actually a fair distance away from where I spawned in. It took me quite a while to find this area. But I'm quite pleased with this sort of little area here. We do have some room to expand in. There's a little mine shaft there that I've sunk down right down to bedrock. Haven't really done a huge amount in there. As you might imagine, I did the greater proportion of this in creative mode. I went into creative mode and I recreated all of this stuff because I wasn't about to start from scratch in survival and do that. But now we're in survival mode. So now we're in survival mode, we need to start getting stuff to let us survive. With that in mind, there's a couple of things. As I said, we're running out of power there, and the only tool I have is my techno hammer. I haven't bothered recreating any of the other tools that we had because I really want to make nice new ones. The ones I had were good, but they weren't exceptional. And I did recreate my armor as well. None of this stuff has actually got any power anymore, so I need to do something about that pretty quickly. So first things first, we get the power sorted out, and if you can remember, I'd already made the boilers and stuff, and we set them up, and I'd said that I was going to be getting the stuff together to make the turbines, which I actually had done just before I had the catastrophic issue. What had happened was my machine had crashed. I'd clicked something with the wrong tool in my hand or something. It caused a memory crash, a proper blue screen of death on my computer, and the whole thing was broken. So I did manage to have all the stuff that I would need to make my turbine. So let's go ahead and start building this turbine just now. And I shall do a speed build, I think, and see you on the other side. Okay then, so welcome back, and we have made the first of our turbines here. I forgot to put that on, I'll do that in a second. Right, let's turn this beast on. Let's keep the coils off, let's activate the turbine and make sure we're venting overflow. So the steam's coming in from here. That's fine, it's going to go through as fast as it can. It'll only, well, it'll use as much as it possibly can. I've deliberately put the power output here because we'll have all three of them outputting in the bottom, going into a tesseract. I think I shall get started out with a tesseract shortly. I should be able to make that reasonably easily once we have power over to our machines. So what I shall need to do is I'll need to go nip over and get that energy cell from underneath that is depleted and put that in. And the last thing to add on is that on there. So that looks pretty cool, I think. I'm very pleased with how this looks. I like the water input in from here. It's draining from this lake. It's coming over here and feeding in. I'm very pleased with how this looks now. So what I'll do is I'll do these in between episodes. I have the stuff in here for doing all these ones as well, and I'll sort out putting them up in between episodes. But at the moment, all I need to do is go and get. Well, you know what I don't have? I don't have a crescent hammer. I haven't made one, so I shall need some iron. And I need 3 iron and 1 tin, I believe, is what we need. Yeah, and I'm still being bothered by spiders as well. Fantastic. Great noise. Thanks very much. So, the other thing that I'm really gutted about is, of course, we lost all of our Mistcraft ages, which means that hungry node that we'd found and we'd started feeding up, yeah, it's all gone. All gone. So, I'm a little bit gutted about that. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to have to go and find another one at some point. And I've lost all my Mistcraft pages as well, so I'm going to have to start from the scratch with the Mistcraft stuff. So a little bit gutted about that. A little bit gutted. But yeah, we'll survive. We haven't... we're not... ew. Oh. That was sore. Right. Okay, this doesn't appear to be inputting. I may need to get some sort of... Oh. Does help. Oh yeah. Let's engage the coils. Oh, it's in overspeed. Look at that. Well over 6,000 RF per tick. That's great. Now, it will drop down once those coils have really caught. Look how quickly that's charging up though. It's doing the full 8,000. That's brilliant. Yeah, once yeah, that's going down a little bit now, but it should even off fairly well. So I think it's going to come down to about. Oh no, of course the efficiency is going up because it was going too fast, so our actual RF per tick is going up at the moment. So it looks like it's going to be well over 7,000, maybe close to 8,000 per tick. And then if we multiply that by 3, we are looking extremely good. So very pleased with that. That's going to charge that up nicely, and take that over and we'll power up our machines over the road. I think we'll need to make... How many tesseracts? We'll need 1 tesseract for in here, we'll need 1 for over in the tree farm, and 1 for our machine room at the moment. So 3 tesseracts, and yeah, let's come back in a second once this is fully charged. And there we go. That's it, it's done. Let's take that and let's head back over the road. Oh, and this is just about to drop back into the green there, and it's still going up, so well over 8,000. It's maybe going to go as far as 8,500? No, it's dropping a little bit now. So now it's into the green. It is dropping a little bit. I'm hoping it's going to stabilise somewhere around about where it is at the moment. It is still dropping a little bit. Oh well, we'll just wait and see. It's still going to be very good regardless of what it stabilises at the moment. I'm very, very happy with that just now. And let's pop this in there and go. That needs to be output. That needs to be output, and that needs to be output. That should have charged up these. Yep, excellent. And we'll close that little carpenter's hatch with some concrete on it. Closes up nicely, looks great. And I've got trailing some string or something. Don't know. Okay, so we want to make some more tools. So we've got our Tinker's Hammer, that's fine. That's great. One of the things I did mention a little while back about was taking care of those slimes was a bit of a pain. Because they split into so many and then they get in the way, so I was going to make myself a scythe. So let's get straight onto that just now. I've got some stuff set aside, so like the hammer, we're going to use slime for the handle and then paper for the binding. Let's pop that straight back in there before we forget and it gets in the way. So if we pop that in there and those like that, then we will get our shiny scythe. So you guessed it, it's going to be called Techno something. Ooh, Techno Scythe. I am original, if nothing else. Let's do a 3 on the end. So this is going to be pretty top notch. We will need to put a capacitor onto it. So if we do, what are we going to do? That's weird. Let's do, we're gonna get a capacitor, wasn't it? A capacitor. So, let's just make sure that we're in, we're not in cheat, we are in cheat mode. We don't want that. How do I get out of that? Okay. Let me put it back from cheat mode and I'll be back in a sec. There we go, managed to fix it. I'd had it set to something peculiar. So, yeah, now we can quite happily not cheat stuff in because we're done with cheating. We're back into survival mode now. So I need lead, copper, redstone and sulfur to make that, and then I need invar and tin as well. So let's get redstone for a start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. For that I need some sulfur and then I need ingots. No, it's the ingot. So I need copper and 2 lead for the first one, then I need some invar and I need tin. So that should be fine. And pop that there, that there. No, yeah, that'll be fine. Copper and lead, that fine there, and that with those makes one hardened flux capacitor. So let's put that there, and we get ourselves our flux, but that's quite loud, our flux powered scythe. And let's go and test it on those slimes that are out there in just a second once I've got it charged up a bit. And now it's charged up, let's go take care of the very, very annoying slimes out there. Close the door, don't want to wander back inside to discover myself a creeper. Where is this nasty beastie? Oh, there he is. Come on then. There we go, and oh yeah, that makes it an awful lot easier to take care of the masses of slime. Yeah, that works an awful lot better. Yep, very happy with that. Okay, let's go back over here. I'll need to make myself a couple of other tools, such as a new pick. I'm going to make myself a mattock because I don't think I need a separate spade and axe, because I'm going to make myself a lumber axe and an excavator as well. So there's no point in having all 4 tools. So I'm going to make them, and I'm going to require to make those tesseracts as well before I go very much further. So let's have a look at the tesseracts as well, and we'll make them while we're off. Tesseracts require 1 diamond, some hardened glass, and inderium. So let's get diamonds. I said I was going to make 3, didn't I? I need some hardened glass. I don't. Oh, let me guess. I don't have hardened glass, do I? So obsidian. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 per each one. I make 2. So if I make 12 of that, and then what is it I need? It's lead, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try. Let's go and pop some into our induction smelter. Our induction smelter. Oh, I haven't made an induction smelter. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I can cope with this. It's perfectly okay. I'm not even going to cheat one in. I'm done with it. Induction smelter is 1 machine frame, redstone reception coil, invar gear, invar ingot, and a bucket. So, ingots. We need, for the machine frame, we'll need 4 iron. We'll need 2 for the cogs as well, and we'll need 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the cogs, and then 2 more for the other bars that we need. And we need to make buckets. We'll need another 3 iron. We'll need to make a redstone reception coil, so we'll need the gold. Then we'll get the redstone to make the redstone reception coil. We will get the glass as well, because we need 4 glass for the machine frame. And I forgot as well, we'll need a further iron and 4 tin for the machine frame as well. So let's make that. We need our tin gear surrounded by glass, and iron makes our machine frame. We need to make 2 invar gears like that. We need to make ourselves a bucket like that. The machine frame, 2 derped a little bit. There we go, like that, that, those. Induction smelter. I knew there was something I'd missed through here because we had spare bits here. That's charging up nicely from that. Let's make ourselves our hardened glass, and then I'm pretty sure that this does, in fact I know it has an exchange value because I had it like that before. So we'll do this, we'll take this through, and we'll learn that in here. Whilst that's learning, we'll go back and get the rest. It should be finished by now. Yep. So we've got sufficient to be able to make the tesseract frame, or 1 tesseract frame, but we need to make 3, don't we? So we've got 6, 7, 8 makes 2, 2 and 3, 4 for another one, and just remind me, tesseract frame, it's inderium. And what do we need for the full one as well? We'll need 4 ender pearls per bucket. We need silver and bronze. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 and bronze. Get 12 of that as well for them. We need ender pearls. Oh, Now, I did have ender pearls learnt before. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. Okay, I am going to cheat myself in some ender pearls. Boop! Like that. Because I legitimately did have them before, and I'm not about to go on an enderman hunt right now. So, yeah. So there. 1, 2, 3, and 12 for that. I'll need to melt that down in our magma crucible. And I need to make some blazing pyrithium to be able to cook up our Enderium blend. So, pyrithium is sulfur, coal, redstone, and blaze powder. And sulfur and coal. And that should be giving us sufficient to do this. Because I think that it only takes one to do one blazing pyrithium to cook up 2 Enderium, so that should be fine. Any moment now. There we go. Yeah. So that's going to be fine. And check and see how this is getting on through here. I thought... Oh no, I didn't put it in there. I put it in my... Previously I have been making my tesseracts by melting down the ender pearls in the smeltery, but yeah, didn't need to do that this time. That doesn't seem like an awful lot in there. 80,000 millibuckets. Okay. So we've got a bunch of this stuff, that's great. Let's make the frames like that and like that. And then we will fill them up with ender pearls like that. It's going to take a while, so I'll see you in a second. So that's the last frame just being filled now, and we have all 3 of our filled tesseract frames. So we can now pop our silver and bronze around these, making full 3 tesseracts there, so that's brilliant. Let's put this under there, so this one can be input from the bottom. This is going to be channel 1 main power. Turn off redstone control. It's going to be receive energy only. That's all good. Perfect. Let's go over to the tree farm and do something very similar. Hello. You having a bad day? Don't know where he's gone now. I'll hang around outside for a bit. Somewhat foolhardy of me to attack him, since, mind you, I've got pretty good armor. As long as he doesn't come and attack me in here, let's put this tesseract in here, and that's going to be input. This is going to be main power. fine in just a second. It's a good job that we got this done now, because that's about to run out, and then once that ran out, it wouldn't be long before these over here ran out of wood going in to make the charcoal to power the furnaces, and then that would be pretty bad, because these would start cooling down. It takes ages for them to heat up, so I'm rather glad that's okay. So what I'm going to... Concrete makes things move so quickly. I'm going to put that in there, put that on main power. It's going to be set to... and we'll turn off the rest of the things, so that's now sending power. And no, don't become a squid. Don't become a squid. Don't you dare become a squid. Right. Let's go back over here and make sure that everything is now charging up as we should hope it would. That's charging up really rather nicely. I'm going to assume that, well, no, I'm not going to assume this one. I'm going to imagine that it is at the moment, and then I'm going to check and not assume anything. Yeah, that one's fully charged now. So that is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So we've managed to address our main power issue. So that's good. I do need to go make those other tools, but I'm not going to subject you to that at the moment. You've seen me make this uber scythe now. I'm going to have to get some quartz onto it to make it even more powerful. It's only doing 3 hearts of damage just now, so 6 damage, which is normal, same as a normal diamond sword. So if I go ahead and get some quartz onto that, we'll get it into an uber slime killing scythe, which will be very, very handy. And then also in between episodes, I'm going to make the other 2 turbines and connect them up, so we'll have massive power gen with our tree farm there. Is going to make it effectively an infinite power supply. So we're never going to need to worry about power again, or at least not for quite some considerable length of time, because that is equal to 1 very large turbine running to maximum output. So I'm very pleased with that. We need to get back into Botania at some point soon. I need to get a sash because I lost my other one. I did have a ring of magnetization that I made myself beforehand, and we need to get some better mana gen here. I want to get another Mistcraft Age open and try and find myself a hungry node, or there could be one in this world, of course, because it's a brand new world. And I think that'll keep us entertained for the next couple of episodes. So I hope everybody is fine with what's happened. I did try and keep everything as close to as it was before, so as not to detract from our progression very much. So yeah, let us know what you think. Like and subscribe. Give me any comments, any suggestions that you can think of for what we should do next. And I shall hopefully see you next time. Bye bye, everybody.